Greetings, Simpson enjoyers. So, what is, in your opinion, one of, if not the worst episodes of a good show? Well, the answer is coming in a moment. But first, some backstory. So yeah, it is often said that the writers of The Loud House are cruel and lazy, and that some haters believe that the Loud Sisters are poorly written. Yeah, so I don't agree with any of that, but it's their opinion. So who am I to judge? But not even the writers of The Loud House would ever come up with an episode as bad as Boys of Bummer, which I've actually watched, and I regret watching it. I want my time back. Seriously, like, I believe I might have unfairly bashed Big City Greens, and I said it was painful to watch, but I had to delete that review because, yeah, one of my friends got affected by it. But yeah, I take back what I said about Big City Greens, even though I'm still not a fan of that show. Because Primos is a thing. But yeah, I do mean it, that Boys of Bummer was painful to watch. It was a hard episode for me to watch. And I couldn't even watch it for a second, let alone nearly 30 minutes. So yeah, firstly, the show is, the episode is about Bart Simpson losing to a baseball game, and suddenly he has suicidal thoughts. That's the first red flag, because you cannot work in suicide jokes in modern cartoons. It just doesn't work. Not even the writers of The Loud House would ever dare to come up with suicide jokes. And yes, it's worse than when Lincoln gets kicked out of his own house. Believe me. And this goes to show that older isn't always better, because Boys of Bummer is way more mean-spirited than Save the Date, Brawl in the Family, No Such Luck, and heck, even The Taunting Hour. All episodes that people hated in The Loud House. But these episodes are actually better to watch. I would rather watch them any day than Boys of Bummer. It's just that bad. Yeah. And I actually felt bad for Bart Simpson being the scapegoat in the episode. Yeah, he got beer cans thrown at him. People mocked him in the episode. And heck, he even started doing some weird stuff. Like, he painted "I hate Bart Simpson," and yeah, that means he hates himself. Again, the suicide jokes don't work. Yeah, Bart nearly commits suicide. And the only way for him to feel better is to actually have a rematch of the baseball game. Seriously, like, that's another problem with the show, that Simpsons themselves don't even consult a therapist to deal with his problems. And yes, even Chief Wiggum is a jerk to Bart Simpson in the episode. Yeah. No character is likable in the episode. Yeah, and some people, of course, say that the Loud Sisters are mean because of certain episodes that they hate. Like, they say that even the purest of heart, even the sister with the purest of heart, Lenny Loud, is really mean because of certain episodes they hate. Again, this is what causes damage in the Loud House fandom, not the characters, the backlash towards the characters and the fandom and the hate them causing more damage to the show than the characters' episodes that they hate that have claimed to cause the most damage, but that's not true though. But anyways, I brought that up because they were acting out of character in those episodes. Yes, No Such Luck and Brawl in the Family are both examples of out of character moments. So if you think the Loud Sisters are mean because of those episodes, fret not, because they're not always like that. And No Such Luck is an episode that people believe that Rita and Lynn Sr. are bad parents, but guess what? That's another out of character moment. They don't act like that in other episodes. They're not Timmy Turner's parents. They're smarter than Timmy Turner's parents. That's what makes characterization a good topic to talk about, because you can always find errors in the animation staff trying to make the characters out of characters. It's not the character's fault, it's the writer's fault. And that could also be attributed to the characters in Boys of Bummer. Every one of them, except for the Simpsons themselves, all hated Bart Simpson. Yeah. Well, the Simpsons might look down on them every once in a while, but every one of the characters in the episodes are not themselves. Believe me. They were written out of character, and the Simpsons themselves would usually come up with a better solution than just have Bart Simpson in a rematch. Yeah. I wish that they would consult a therapist in the episode itself. And not to mention, the suicide jokes just don't work. They used to work in the 1930s, in the early days of animation, but nowadays, they can be rather mean-spirited. And SpongeBob also tried this suicide joke with one-course meal, and that's why it got hated, because of a failed joke. So, the moral of the story is, do not try suicide humor. Sadly, the best part of Boys of Bummer is the intro sequence. Yeah, the intro sequence is actually better than the episode itself, so Boys of Bummer is just an example that sometimes older isn't always better, and you should really put certain episodes you hate into perspective. Because at least they weren't nearly as bad as Boys of Bummer. And I've watched the whole episode and I regretted watching it. I should have never watched it. And as much as I love The Simpsons, This episode is one that I will never be watching again. Yeah, much worse than any of the worst episodes in the Loud House, even the Taunting Hour. And I don't want people to get the wrong impression that the Loud Sisters and Rita and Lynn Sr. are mean people because of those episodes. I do want them to look at them on a more positive note. Yeah, it's your opinion, but you have to also remember that it's out of character moments, just like Boys of Bummer. And if they were in character, I wouldn't be talking about this episode. So yeah, Boys of Bummer gets a 2 out of 10. Yeah, it only gets a point for the intro sequence, which is better than the show itself. Easily one of the worst episodes in good shows, and the worst Simpsons episode. And definitely the worst episode in the pre-HD Simpsons era. Yeah, before modern Simpsons was a thing. I would much rather watch modern Simpsons than that episode. So yeah. Boys of Bummer is one episode I won't be watching again. Yes, each show has had its fair share of bad episodes. But none can ever top Boys of Bummer. Or at least try to. Boys of Bummer is an example that sometimes older isn't always better, and we really have to take our most hated episodes for granted and give credit to them, because at least they didn't try to be too depressing, like Boys of Bummer. And it just goes to show that even shows as big as The Simpsons, as popular as The Simpsons, can have duds like this, and can have the show staff mess up every once in a while. Not everything is perfect. Not every episode is perfect, but that's what makes cartoons cartoons, and you have to give the animation staff a break, because they're only trying to make episodes on a weekly basis. And that's the moral of the story. We can't really blame the episodes themselves. We can blame the decision making when it comes to the episodes themselves. And that's definitely the case with Boys of Bummer. Whether you like it or not, but I would hardly find anybody that would like it, to be honest with you. So yeah, that's my moral. And that's my review of Boys of Bummer. Catch you guys next time, and peace out. Smaller channels are at risk, and every subscriber means a lot to them. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest Racer Cinema Productions videos. And together, we can help drive the YouTube algorithm away from this channel, so that I don't succumb to the fate of other smaller channels getting